Planet School, Module 11. Calculating a birth chart. Before you can cast a chart, you need to gather the necessary information. Most people nowadays know their date of birth, so that rarely presents a problem. The second piece of information you need is your place of birth. If you were born in a small village or in a rural area, you might need to note the name of the nearest town or city. This is because the longitude and latitude of smaller places aren't always included in books of tables and computer software. If you want to be more precise, you can search for the longitude and latitude of your place of birth on the internet. Finally, you will need your time of birth. Birth time are recorded on hospital records, so if you were born in a hospital, you can try contacting them to see if your records still exist. It is possible that you won't be able to find a record of your birth time. If that's the case, try to find out approximately what time of the day you were born. When the time of birth isn't known, most astrologers cast a chart for midday. However, this means that you can't use the houses as their calculation relies on accurate time. The chart will still give you a lot of useful information without the houses, and some people find that as they study their chart, they can work out an approximate time, based on the meanings of the signs and houses and events in their life. At the least, you might be able to work out which rising sign suits you best. You may be able to pay an experienced astrologer to rectify your chart and work out your birth time, according to your personality and events in your life. Calculating a birth chart by hand. With the advent of computer software, few people calculate horoscopes by hand nowadays. However, it's a good idea to learn how it's done, so that you can better understand the calculations. The math isn't very difficult, although it can be time-consuming until you get used to it. With practice, you should be able to calculate a chart by hand in about 20 to 30 minutes. You will need some reference works to enable you to do this. Most of the information you need can be found easily on the internet, although you can buy books of tables. The first thing you need is an ephemeris, or book of tables of the planetary positions of the year of birth. Ephemerides give the position of the planets at either midnight or noon on the date in question. As they use universal time, you will need to adjust your time of birth if you were born in a different time zone. It's easy to find your time zone on the internet. You will also need to adjust your time of birth if you were born when summer or daylight savings time was in effect. There is software available providing details of ephemerides, time zone tables, and latitude and longitude of most places. When calculating your chart by hand, you begin by working out your rising sign or ascendant. This is drawn on the horizontal left of the chart, and the remainder of the houses are then calculated based on this. The precise calculation method will depend on the house system used, and we will look at this in more detail further on. You will then need to calculate the planet's position for your time of birth so that you can place them in the correct signs and houses. Finally, you will need to calculate the aspects or relationships between the planets.